It is Tuesday, September 19th, and I just got off work and decided to take Rusty Ironvan out for a ride to the compound. This is Rusty's first trip out here, and we are coming out to take a look at what's happened to Camp Freedom 2 since Hurricane Irma passed through and the yurt. I'm curious to see what happened to it, even though Rusty's having some issues. The transmission being in limp mode is still an issue with Rusty, and I just found out that the coolant is leaking. There's a coolant leak or evaporation issue, but I think it's squirting all over the engine. And that might even be related to the transmission issue. So I'm still trying to determine exactly where the leak is, but it's leaking pretty fast. Like each day I have to refill the radiator with water. I haven't been adding coolant because it's just going to leak right out. So that would get kind of expensive. So right now I'm driving at about 2,500, 3,000 RPM because we're on a regular side street here, not a major highway, which I think will help. I probably won't be able to take too many trips out here due to the fact that Rusty's having issues. But for now, we're gonna try to make it and take a look at Camp Freedom 2. We are now taking a right onto Bombardier from De Groot. So we are just outside of the compound. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really, really anxious to see how everything fared. Go ahead and resume filming once we hit the compound and stuff, because this is kind of boring. We are at the junction for the turn. The sign for no dumping is missing. I think that was missing before the hurricane. So here we are inside the compound itself. So far, so good. I'm actually surprised that the brush here does not look brown. It's interesting. If you'll recall on my drive, wow, they cut the grass around here too. The city cut the grass just very recently. But if you'll recall on my drive down US 1, heading up north towards Cocoa, the brush was all brown from the hurricane. Something happened with the hurricane that made everything brown. But looking out here at the compound, everything's still green. So I find that really interesting. Nothing looks unusual so far. Bushes. I thought it was some kind of animal, but there was some kind of pond frond thingy. There's a car out there, a white truck. Other than that, there's nothing unusual out here. Looks like the city came out and cut the grass. Probably before the hurricane. far so good. Rusty Ironvan is running fine. Well, not really, but running. Do you guys remember where I'm supposed to turn? That's right. I'm supposed to turn right here. Alright. We are now heading into an area that I call the Labyrinth, because it's got all these trees surrounded by all this brush on both sides. It looks like a real live labyrinth. Coming up straight ahead to the right. Hang on a moment, this is our intersection. Nobody's coming. To our right, over here, on this side. This way, right here, to the right, is the Army invasion outpost where we saw the climbing thing that they put up for Tough Mudder. Actually right here. And I don't see anything there except that the grass is totally overgrown. You couldn't even tell that they were out there. I'm not taking the camera off because it's got the Velcro and it's real sticky. You're not going to want to come off. Coming up here on our left. I'm surprised. Everything looks intact. I guess the bushes fared very well. This is Camp Freedom 1. And I don't see anything weird. Except more dumpings. People have been dumping more garbage here. I think without me here to collect all these pieces of garbage and recycle them, reuse them, they're just gonna sit out here as trash that have been dumped. I see what appears to be TV parts. I don't know if that flew here or what. Well, Rusty Ironvan is getting scratched up. Ooh, the branches are a bit low. And really, really green. They've gotten lots of water. The tires that were here, I see one tire left, 2 tires. There were 3, I think, 3 or 4. I'm beginning to be optimistic that everything is intact. Because the roadway here looks all intact. Some birds there on the road. It's starting to get dark, so I won't be staying too long. It's like been getting dark early. Maybe because summer is over, or pretty much over. Stop here and we'll look. Nobody's coming. I have not been out here in a long time. Grass is growing. Maybe soon no one will be able to come here. You know, I was talking to Rob and he says this area, they're planning on building a bypass that will go through here to a new development called, believe it or not, Emerald City. Well, we can see that the trees and branches here did get affected. I hope they don't break my antenna. But, it's making Camp Freedom 2 less than accessible. Less and less accessible. Well, we can see now the big reveal is about to happen. Yes, sirree, folks. The toilet has been knocked over, but the hut still stands. Wow. The hut is pretty much intact. I think if I wanted to fix it back up, it would take like all of 5 minutes. By the way, for those of you freaking out about the toilet being knocked over, it's empty. I cleaned it out before I left last time. Unless someone came and used it, it's actually clean in there. So even though it's on its side, there was nothing to spill. No mess. Well, we're gonna turn around and salvage stuff that we can. I'm taking things back to Walter's house as I can, and time permitting, I will come back here to clean up this mess, the rest of it. But it looks like the camp has stayed intact. I'm curious about the yurt. I'm pretty sure the yurt's in pieces, because unlike the hut, the yurt was just a bunch of ripped up tarps. Old tarp that was very brittle. Don't ever build or try to build a structure that'll last more than a week with that tarp. It doesn't last more than a week. I think even if you got good quality tarp, it would only last a week or two. The Florida sun really does a number on those tarps. This is Camp Freedom 2. And let me see why I'm not going into gear here. Park, reverse, neutral, drive. Alright. Time to get out and have a look.